Well, hello, everybody. I'm doing something a little bit different today. We don't have an interview, and I'm not really talking about online teaching today, but I'm talking to online teachers. And I'm so excited to be streaming for the first time to Instagram from StreamYard. So, hello, Instagram. I'm going to be trying to check comments over there. I see a bunch of joins, so I'm really excited about that. Just figured out how to do that. And if you're here watching on YouTube, a big welcome to you. I'm also streaming into my Facebook group. I'm really passionate about what we're going to talk about today. And the cover of my YouTube video was about stopping online teaching. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And the title of the video is that one-on-one teaching isn't going to make you rich, but this is. So I'm going to share with you the direction that I'm moving into and, how I want to bring online teachers along with me to really step into what you were created for, what you were meant to do, and how you can bring revenue into your business and a sense of passion and excitement about what you're doing. Just a little backstory for those that don't know me or are not really familiar with how I got started in online teaching and how this YouTube channel started. My name is Tim. I've owned the Online Teacher Dude brand, I guess you could say, YouTube channel for about 6 years now. So in 2017, I quit my teaching job from the classroom with the one goal of traveling for a year. That year turned into 2, turned into 3, and it's now going on 6 years where I've been working at home, making an income that has always been more than what I made in the classroom. And I don't talk a lot about income and money that I'm making, or money that I make from courses and things like that. I have created some videos in the past about what's possible, I guess, with having your own offer. And I've done some sort of income reviews. I stopped doing those, but what I want, I've got hair on here from the cat. What I want to talk about today is not about getting rich, but just the concept of what rich is and what it means to me. And I want to share my story about how I moved into online teaching and then created my own offers and what has been possible because of that. But most importantly, I really want to encourage you. I want to motivate you. This is going to be a different live. I hope you walk away from this with a real sense of excitement about what's possible, and to encourage you to stay tuned to the channel. Online Teacher Dude isn't going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. The YouTube channel is going to stay more or less the same. I am going to move a little bit away from only talking about online teaching, but talking to online teachers who want to launch the business of their dreams, to launch their own offer to the world, to be able to create, unimaginable revenue in your business, revenue that you never dreamed was possible. And that's happened to me several times over the last several years. And alongside online teaching, I was always dreaming big, getting scared in the process of it. It's even scary to come on right now and talk about this stuff because I feel a little bit out of, not out of my element, but out of the realm of what I often talk about, which is companies going independent and building a teaching business, which is something that I've done and I've helped hundreds of teachers to do over the last few years. So a big hello to you if you're joining. Thank you so much. Hello, Bohemian Sun. Hello, Kathy. Hello, Joe. Oh dear, she says. Hello, Brooke. Good to see you as well. If you are on Instagram, I will try to be checking the chat. Feel free to say hello. I can still see your messages, but it's a little bit different because I'm doing it through the desktop computer. And yes, Abira asks on Facebook, will it be recorded? It'll live in my Facebook group, Going Solo Independent Teaching, and it will live on my YouTube channel. So you can certainly go and check that out if you would like to. The Language and Culture Shop. I've totally forgotten your name, but I know who you are. Hey, Paige from Chattanooga. You were in my first launch. Yes, you were. Yes, you were. Hello, beautiful teacher. What a great name. Hello from Pakistan. So good to have all of you here watching. We've got almost 30 people. So let's just address the sort of the title. I am going to stop teaching one-on-one classes. And, this has been something that has been brewing for probably about 6 months. Really, I've wanted to stop online teaching my students for quite a while. The difficulty with that is that the online teaching one-on-one lessons that I created were always a consistent income for me. So they were always, it was always a revenue source that I could rely on, and it was always dependable, right? We all want that dependable income in our life, and that's so important. And I recommend online teaching still. I have a video coming out next week about a really cool company. So I'm still going to be making content about online teaching. But for me, for this channel and my personal goal of moving into some new things is that I'm going to stop my one-on-one classes. And a lot of people ask me, the sort of steps to getting started with online teaching. And I think that getting started with a company is, I've always promoted that as a really great idea, as something that, if you get started with a company, it starts to open up the doors for you to what you enjoy about online teaching, to giving you access to students, right? To real students that you didn't have to do any marketing for. Things are fantastic. But at the end of the day, they only pay a certain amount of money, and you're always trading your time for money, right? So you are never going to be able to scale with online teaching if you are only teaching one-to-one classes. Let me know in the chat right now what your situation is with online teaching. Are you teaching with a company? Are you doing the marketplace stuff? Are you on OutSchool? Are you teaching independently? And tell me, if you're brave to share what your kind of goals are with online teaching. Because here's the thing. When I got started with online teaching back in 2018 with VIP Kid, I was blown away. I mean, literally blown away. And many of you probably were too, that you could sit at home in your pajamas, right? As advertised. I never really did it in my pajamas because I taught at 4 in the afternoon usually, but you could virtually sit at home, with your beverage of choice, and you could teach online classes. And you could make an income from that. And I was making in some months, I was making $3,000 to $4,000 teaching online classes for a few hours a day. Whereas in the school system, right, when I was teaching at an international school, I was making maybe a little bit more than that or around that, after they take out taxes and things like that. But I was working from 8 in the morning until, 5 at night, taking work home with me, responsible for attending meetings outside of school, doing work on the weekend, decorating my classroom. I mean, the list goes on. So I felt like I had really struck gold. And I kept doing it. And then I made this channel and I was recruiting for companies, and my income, I mean, I'm not kidding, it was blowing up. Like, I was doing better financially than I ever had in my entire life. And it was because of working for a company and what that did for me. But as the years went on, I really started to realize that this wasn't the long-term goal. But in 2018, 2019, I thought, geez, if this could go on forever, like, I'll do this until they put me under the soil. Like, I'll do this forever. If this can bring me this kind of money, at the time it was like $20 an hour. Now it's even less if you're working for these companies, right? Sometimes you're making, even less than $10 an hour. But I understand that that is life-changing for some people, depending on your situation. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not talking about making lots of money here and that needs to be your end goal. I'm not talking about the goal of getting rich, right? I used rich in the title. One-on-one teaching is not going to get you rich. What are we talking about when we talk about getting rich? Well, for me, I'm talking about being rich in time and being rich in the ability to meet my financial and personal needs, and then some, to be able to save, to be able to invest for the future, and to be able to take care of myself. And for you, it might be, to take care of your family, or to have, a more abundant lifestyle so that you're not worrying about what's next. And the reason why one-to-one classes are never going to get you there is because you'll always be trading your time for money. And there's only a certain amount of hours in the day. You can work as much as you want, but you're going to get burnt out. You're going to feel exhausted, and you're always going to be limited by the number of hours in a day. And, teaching 8, 9, 10 hours online a day, in my opinion, for me, it just isn't sustainable. I never did that much. For me, 4 to 5 hours was the most I ever taught. And really, that was way too much. I found that just absolutely exhausting. So I needed to set my sights on something that was bigger, right? And so out of that came this channel, The Online Teacher Dude. I worked really hard on building up a brand, working with companies, doing recruiting, and I grinded. I mean, I was grinding every day, trying to make this work because I wanted to show other online teachers what worked for me. And many times, your business idea is born out of what you were successful at, your own journey, right? So a lot of times when people come to me and ask me what they should, what should their business idea be, I tell people to start first with thinking about what is your own journey, because you don't have to be an expert in something. You just need to be a few feet, a few yards, a few miles, a few kilometers ahead of somebody else so that you can bring them to where you are. And that might be, it could really depend on your own personal journey in life as to what you have been successful at, or, what you've learned, what you want to teach others about. And so, with the online world, there really is endless opportunities. So let's look at some comments here. Teaching on Cambly, however, I really love to vet some of the student. I really have to vet some of the students. For example, for security, I don't take lessons without the camera on. Reasons being, some students like to do some shady stuff. Yeah, I mean, the list is endless of what can go on some of those companies. Cindy's teaching privately and for some companies. I'm ready for group and selling classes and courses that aren't live. Yes. So Cindy, that's, that could be your offer. Like, something that is beyond your one-on-one lessons. I mean, I get messages and emails from teachers quite often, and people are getting tired of the one-on-one lessons and, getting stuck in that this is all there is for me. And I'm just here to tell you that there is so much more for you. You don't have to do what I did. You don't have to do what Sally did next door. You don't have to be doing what Cindy's doing, but there is more for you. And I want to encourage you to think a little bit bigger this morning as to what that might be for you. So VIP kit is going to trash with the pay they offer now. Yeah, it's just too little. So happy I left. What are you doing now? My goal is to start my own blog and social media and build speaking clubs. Awesome. I teach one-on-one around 30 classes a week. I work 6 days a week. My goal is to reach 50 classes a week to meet my financial goal. Okay, so that's excellent. Like, you've got a goal, you're working towards it. I don't know, Golden Pineapple, what your end goal is with things. I don't know if you're looking to move beyond that. But at some point, your income caps, right, at what you're able to do. Like, so your financial goal is to work 50 lessons a week. Is that sustainable for you? It might be. It might not be for somebody else. It isn't for me. And so that's why I want to, and look, I don't teach a whole lot at the moment, but I have been consistently teaching one-on-one classes with Chinese students for 6 years. And, this month and last month, really the last several months, I've just had to put my foot down and say, it's time for me to move into bigger things. And I'm not as passionate with my classes as I used to be, right? It's hard to say that because I really do love online teaching for many reasons. I really love my students a lot. And, my students have really helped me to build the business that I have right now, because I built what I have based on referrals. So, I owe my students a lot, and they've just been fantastic. And I still have like 8 or 9 students that I am going to finish their packages over the next couple of months. And I'm not going to be doing any more recruiting or building that back up again. I really feel like, when you just sometimes feel like the time is right for something. I don't know, if you were working for a company, you might have been blindsided by things that happened in 2021, but if you've moved away from a company, like you might have just felt, right, just inside that this was the time to move on, or, the time for something else. I don't know. Okay, so that is yes, I didn't even notice her. There she is. Actually, I gave little Yin Yin a bath today, so she's not so happy with me. I don't know. For those that have cats, do you bathe your cats? Like, I don't, but someone told me that I should bathe her once every sort of 2 or 3 times a year. So I've been doing a bit of that. Teach SAT language and IGCSE English. Cool. I've heard some teachers create their small online English learning schools. That's cool. Yeah. And I'm working on it as well. Awesome. Doing one-to-one classes for about 5 years has definitely consumed me. Yeah. And, I've always felt like I've grown with all of you, the audience, the people that have watched my videos over the years, the almost 23,000 people that have clicked the subscribe button. And this is a good segue into, please do subscribe if you're not already. YouTube analytics shows me that 85% of my viewers are not subscribed. So what's stopping you? I would love for you to subscribe if you're here getting value. It's only going to get better. And I'm still going to be talking about online companies. I'm still going to be talking about online teachers. But what I'm really going to be focusing on is talking to you as online teachers to help you to move into that next phase. And I've really looked at my own 7 years of working at home as phases. There was the phase of working with companies. There was the phase of teaching students myself and helping online teachers to do the same thing. And I really feel like I'm moving into a phase of something bigger. And I know that so many of you are wanting to as well. So, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Hey, Patricia, you were also in one of my early launch courses. Good to have you. Company, yep, to Chinese and Korean students. You're teaching SAT language and IGCSE to Chinese and Korean students. Awesome. Okay, so I want to keep talking. I moved into launching my own offers in 2019. It was super, super scary. I went and created mini courses, and then the big offer that I had was my Launch Going Solo course. And I ran that about 6 times in a live sort of format and had so much fun doing it. I really enjoyed the sort of group coaching aspect to it. I found so many teachers got so much result from the live component. And it was, financially, it was a really successful course. I launched it several times, and then I put it as a self-paced course that teachers could purchase on their own. They could go through at their own time and sort of in a self-paced model. Hi on Instagram, Balloon Chefs, teaching online, need to teach groups, not one-to-one. The problem is getting those groups together. Yes. So I would start with your current students, and I would work with a few of them to move them into a group and then get them to promote the group to their friends. Great way to grow your student base. I'm teaching an OutSchool organization. Awesome. Online adventures with Kelsey. Hey, good to see you. But I'm also focusing on growing my TPT shop as well. Yes, it will be saved, STEMcore, but it will be on my YouTube channel. Okay, so let's go into, the Launch Going Solo course. So this was it was like a year and a half of me launching and relaunching and having a really great time doing that. I spoke to, I think almost 400 teachers have gone through the course. And I want to say that, had I not been scared, right, and started something out of a fear of, is it going to work? Are people going to buy the course? Is anyone going to join? Maybe people only watch my channel because they're interested in companies. I had so many fears around it. But I look back and I think, like, had I not decided that day to just make the sales page and to put something out there that, hey, I am going to be doing this course to help teachers to go independent, I wouldn't have helped nearly 400 teachers get interested in independent teaching, to start their own independent teaching business, with or without me. And I know a lot of teachers, maybe went through the course and didn't take action for whatever reason. But I'm so grateful that I did that. And yes, it was an incredible revenue boost as well in my business. So I really want to talk to you today, those that are feeling burnt out with one-to-one classes, losing passion for your one-to-one classes, but also knowing that you were made for something more. The single thing that you can do to step into what you're created for is to create an offer that you can put out into the world. And so that's what um, I'm really here to talk about, is how stepping into what you maybe know that you're supposed to be doing, but aren't doing because you're fearful, or aren't doing because of those, limiting beliefs, or those fears around, well, what if no one purchases, or what if I don't get any followers, or maybe you just have a lack of direction, you don't know how to start, or you're just fear of the unknown, right? I'll tell you, every time I've been afraid of something, every time, it has turned out to be the right fear that launches me into doing something bigger and better for myself, for other teachers, and for my business every single time. And I know that when I'm scared of something, and which I am a little bit right now, I know that it's that right amount of fear, that I'm fearful enough to be as excited as I am about it. And it's hard to sort of put into words, but that fear of doing something, um, you feel that fear inside because it's a little bit scary. I think that's the healthiest place to be when you're about to launch something, or you're about to step into something bigger and maybe something unknown, because it's that fear that has really driven everything that I've done. And it's the same fear that I have now about, going into something bigger and better, that um, could, if I let it, keep me back from moving forward. But it could also be that I could allow that fear to really propel me forward. And because I've done this so many times and I felt that fear so many times, I know that on the other side of that, there's really a lot of goodness, and there's a lot of people that I can impact, and there's a lot of teachers that I can help. So, I just, if that encourages you at all, I'm really glad, because that is just a healthy place to be, I think. So, you could let that fear prevent you from taking action. But I really believe that action is a great builder of confidence. Inaction, all right, so like that, not doing whatever it is that you want to do or that you're fearful about, is not only the result, but it's the cause of an unhealthy fear. So perhaps the action you take, will be successful. Perhaps different action or adjustments to that action will need to happen in order to correct things. And look, I've made tons of mistakes. I've launched things that were a total failure, but that's okay, because that action then propels me into tweaking things, right? Because I'm not someone that's going to give up easily. I'm not someone that's going to let failure squash me, smother me, and put me away. I let that failure propel me into making adjustments and changes, and listening to reasons why maybe it was a failure. But I'll tell you that any action you take is way better than no action at all, right? Let me know in the chat if you agree with me, and if you're tracking with me here. So, yes, create an offer, Patricia, that you can put out into the world. Fear can stop us or put us forward into something more and better. Yes, I love it. Your mindset there is absolutely right on. You made an excellent point about feeling that kind of fear. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that fear. I mean, it's that fear that really has been the pinnacle to all of my success in the things that I've done, because it's been a little bit scary sometimes, right? Anytime you try something new, it's scary. But I know that for me, I don't want to be stagnant. And I've felt quite stagnant in the last year or so. I'm just being really transparent. I felt stagnant with my teaching. Like, things have been going well there. I'm coasting along. I've got all the students that I want, and I'm making really all the money that I really want from that. But um, I know that there's something more out there for me, and I want to help online teachers to move into that. So yeah, lost my train of thought, but hopefully that made some sense. Hello, learning never ends. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yes, it's helpful, but to know it is normal to feel fear, but it is risky, but it is the only way forward. Exactly. Like, you look at all sorts of successful people out there, they were all fearful. They were all scared to get started because, like I was just saying, I mean, there's lots of unknowns, right? There's unpredictability about what you might want to do. But this community is incredibly supportive. I'm here to bounce ideas off of, and I really hope you'll stick around. So I want to kind of jump into a few things around this idea of an offer. So all right. So you might be an online teacher that is teaching one-to-one lessons, and you might want to stay there, and that's totally fine. Maybe you're not ready to move into something else, or maybe you're still just looking to get into online teaching. I know I speak to all kinds of teachers who are at the beginning, well into it, fed up with it, tired of it, and wanting to move into something else. And that's okay. Look, I don't think that you should be teaching one-on-one lessons online for the rest of your life, right? There's always change in life. And I think that change is so healthy. It's just super scary. I mean, changing my job from going from a public school in Canada to an inner city international school in Beijing, China was a massive change. Quitting my job, a consistent income in 2017, to step into literally nothing. I had zero income when I quit my job. I don't recommend that. But my plan at that time wasn't really to quit forever. I thought I would take a year off, maybe 2 at the most, and then I would go back into the international teaching circuit. But plans changed, and definitely I stepped into really exciting things with online teaching, and it changed the trajectory really of my life. I don't want to be rich in the traditional sense. I want to be rich with time. I want to have the time to travel. I want to have the freedom to do what I want, right, when I want to do it. I mean, doesn't that just sound like an amazing way to live your life? But to also be serving and helping other people at the same time, but not always trading time for money. To create offers that can create passive income for you, but offers in a way that can scale your business, right? So it could be group coaching, or it could be digital products, right, that are sold over and over again. I worked with many teachers a few months ago on creating digital products, and that is just the start of what's possible for you if you're out there wanting to make digital products. There's just so much opportunity online for you to build a brand that you're proud of, to build a business that is successful and thriving, and something that you're excited to wake up to every day. But I just feel for myself that it's no longer the one-on-one lessons. And unless I put a sort of finish line on that, it's very hard to devote 100% of my time to something else, right? And maybe that resonates with you. If you're in teaching one-to-one lessons, time is often a factor, right? It's depending on how much you're teaching. There's only so many hours in the day. And I hear from many teachers, I just don't have the time to launch my independent teaching business. And for me, that's really sad, because the whole goal of moving independent is to move away from companies. But if you're stuck with a company, and you don't have the time to move independently, then something needs to shift, right? Something needs to happen. Either you need to decrease the amount of hours you're working with the company, or you need to really just say, okay, enough's enough. I'm going to make this work no matter what. Come hell or high water, I'm going to make this work, right? And sometimes that's what I've had to say to myself, like, to hell or high water, I'm going to make this work. Like, I'm going to devote my time, effort, energy, blood, sweat, and tears into building this course, or into this coaching program, or whatever it is that I'm working on. Wow, so many chats in here. I love it. Hi, Clarissa. Yes, I know who you are. I've been trying hard to think outside the box too, since I haven't gotten private students yet. So working on streaming and digital classes. Cool. Where are you doing that? I'm an independent SPED tutor, teaching one-to-one, which is moving into full-time. Great. Is that bringing you joy? Is that still bringing you joy? If it is, I'm super happy for you. story box. So I got my teacher account on. Fear has stopped me from trying new things, but I've been doing my best to push through that fear. We're here for you, cheering you on there, Clarissa. I'm having difficulty narrowing my focus. There are a lot of courses and opportunities and more out there on social media, and I feel like my feeds are flooded with them and they overwhelm me. There are lots of courses and opportunities and more out there on social media. Okay, if you're feeling overwhelmed with social media, take a break, right? The great thing about social media is that, remember, you're in control. For me, like, it controls me too sometimes. Like, I'm addicted to Instagram reels and feeds. And yes, there is so much content out there. It is so overwhelming. So if you're wanting to work on your own thing, put the blinders on, forget what else is out there, and just grind at what you want to do, because, any action is better than no action. And I've seen it time and time again with myself, with my coaching clients, with teachers that have gone through my program, that if you start taking a little bit of action, that little bit of action just works like a snowball. Preach. Thank you. I feel like I'm preaching. I'm in that moment right now, and I'm working myself to death. Yeah, you don't want to be in that moment anymore. I certainly don't want to be in that moment anymore. I remember what that was like with companies. And I don't feel that with my independent students, but I am feeling a bit, not burnt out or exhausted from it, because I really don't teach a lot, but I just want to put an end to it. You know what I mean? I just know that the end has to come, and it's now for me. So that's just personally where I'm at. Thanks so much. Love you being here, Red Life. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. That would mean so much to me. It's that Delulu energy you got to have sometimes. Yes, agree, Kinga, agree. Love that you're here. Thanks for joining, Kinga. There are so many fake jobs being advertised on social media lately. Be careful, guys. Yeah, I mean, for sure, there are lots of fake jobs being offered, and that'll never, ever, ever stop. Be careful. But, the best job is the one that you create for yourself, right? The one that you're passionate about. So let me just see what's going on over here on Instagram. How we doing? Thank you, Nati. Your YouTube was the reason I came into this. Will this video be saved? Yeah. All right. So where were we? So, someone in business told me several years ago that the faster I put out my offer, the faster it's going to help someone make progress and get results. And I went, whoa. Like, I really had to step back and think about that. Like, that there were people waiting for what I had to offer. Think about that for a second, for yourself. Think about that for yourself. That if you could get into that mindset right now, right, that you could imagine that there are people, because there literally are people waiting for what you have to offer. Like, that's game changing, guys. That's really game changing, because when you think about, and this person had me do an exercise to actually imagine people lined up at my imaginary door, waiting for me to put out what it is I wanted to put out. At that time, it was my launch going solo course. I was petrified, because I had only been doing it for a little while myself, and I didn't feel like I had enough to give. But boy, was I wrong. I mean, there were people waiting for a group of teachers to learn how to go independent. And there wasn't really anyone doing it at that time. It was scary. It was new. Companies were closing. There was, the internet was frantic with online teachers panicking about what to do next. And I just knew that I had to step into that. And, when I imagined it like that, it just was totally game changing for me. And I often think about that analogy, that there are literally people waiting for your offer. What are you passionate about? What is it in your story that you can help other people to achieve? It could be addiction. It could be, I've seen teachers move into all kinds of different things that are outside of online teaching, but in their own personal journey, they went through, I can think of one example, without saying names, of course, of someone who went through a really bad relationship, and then they became a relationship coach. I've known teachers to go into selling digital products, of course, physical products, to coaching. I'm just going to pick on you, King, as an example, but you're someone that stepped into a coaching role to coach other teachers, and that was all birthed out of your teaching online experience and going independent. So, and these people started with nothing, right? Same with me. Like, it's possible for you. It really, really is possible for you. Thank you so much, George. The thing I like the most about creating your own brand is that I have just started and already learned tons of new stuff, like creating prompts for AI, programming, making visual content. Yeah. So, going out on your own, building your own brand is really overwhelming. There's so much out there, from, creating an email list to a website to all this stuff. Don't let the overwhelm consume you. Focus on who it is that you want to help. And if you're with me right now and you're like, yes, this is me. Like, I was made for so much more. I was made to put out my own offer into the world. I was made to help people, move from here to here, or to transform in this way. I want you to start this journey, not with social media, not with a website. I want you to take time to really think about what it is that you want to serve other people with. What is it that you want to help other people with? In everything I've done, I've always focused on what is it that I want to help them with? Not how much money can I make from this? Not how many people can I get into this course? Yes, those are things that come along with creating an offer and selling it, of course, right? Our financial goals are real, and there's nothing to shy away from that. There's no reason to shy away from that. Be bold with your financial goals. Be bold with your income goals. Be bold with the amount of people you want to help. But at the core of it, spend time really thinking about who is it that you want to help. I'm really clear on that now. I'm really clear that I want to help online teachers to build their businesses, but to really step into who they were created to be, and to get out there and create that for whoever it is. Because I've done that myself, right? Like, I was passionate about that for myself, and I want to take people through that same journey. Thank you so much. Learning never ends. What's your name? I recognize your face, I think, from before. Hello from the Philippines. Good to have you, John. Thank you, Kinga. Thank you, Kinga. Yeah, Kinga was in one of my launch courses, and we all have that first step, right? Like, what is it that Kinga worked with companies, and then she booked a coaching call. I remember Kinga booked a coaching call with me way back when I was like promoting that, when teachers were going through all that SHIT with all those companies, and then she joined my launch course, and has just been a force to be reckoned with ever since, crushing it on Instagram and, doing great things. It is fulfilling a need. Absolutely, Tefl John. Being burnt out for years, Richard says, 9 hours a day doing one-on-ones. Like, more power to you, man. That's a lot. I have some good digital ideas to transition. However, the marketing side has me in a spin. Okay, like I said, right now, don't focus on the marketing. Really focus on who you want to help. Create those things. But I would even say, one of my things about selling is that I prefer to sell something before I actually make it, right? Because I want to test the market. And to be transparent about my launch course, I actually sold my launch course. Funny story. I didn't know how well it was going to do. I sold it to 79 people for the first launch of it in November of 2021. 79 people. I had not created a single thing. Wait, my computer is going to die. Okay. I had not created a single video, PDF, or anything with the course. But, after I sold it to 79 people, I knew that, okay, like, I'm onto something. So then I went into creation mode, rather than creating and spending hours, like, creating the videos and all that crap that was just time consuming. it's not crap, but you know what I mean? All the stuff for a course. I sold it first. Yeah, so get really clear on who it is that you want to help. And here's some things that I would be working on. Let's get into some meat and potatoes here. So you need an idea. And if I were to do things differently, I would go back and I would start an email list, right? So that would be the very first thing I would do. If you're not familiar with email marketing, it is not emailing from your personal email account. You can use something like MailChimp or MailerLite or Kajabi or Groove or the hundreds of other ESPs out there. But set up a branded email address through you can email me if you've got questions about this. I could talk about this type of stuff as well all day, but we'll save it for another time. But I would start an email list from the beginning, and I would put out free content for people to get and join your email list. That would be my first step to building your own brand there. And then I would probably choose one social media to focus on in the beginning. For me, it's always been YouTube, but I would focus on one social media, and don't get too caught up in, being everywhere all at once. So guys, let's stop sitting on our dreams. Stop procrastinating. Stop letting those small voices tell you that you aren't good enough. When you step into what you're meant to be doing, you will be so filled with passion that it will drive you to make things happen. It will drive you to, to start building what it is that you were meant to be. Put it in the chat if you're brave. What are you wanting to do? I would love to hear it. Let me go check my Facebook over here and Instagram. Hello on Instagram. Sorry, I've been neglecting you. We've got 9 people watching over there. It looks like almost 40 on YouTube. So thank you. This is one of my most attended lives in a long time. So I appreciate all of you being here. Again, please subscribe, and please, like the video. It really helps this to get out to more online teachers. And I just, really, really, really appreciate all of you for watching and for being here, and just for, you being here fuels my energy. It fuels my excitement. This video was about me, announcing that I'm, not that it's anybody's business, but, or that you even care maybe, but announcing that I'm stopping my one-to-one lesson soon. And, I'll document that journey with you. I'll share with you exactly, what I'm doing there, and how that's going. And stay tuned for exciting things coming up as well. But it was also a live show to really just inspire you to think bigger. I just 5 minutes before the live, I got this email, and if you're not on my email list, we have great conversations over there. I'd love for you to be on my email list. You can join any of my free courses, or you can just shoot me an email and say, add me. I can do that. It says, just want to say thank you so much for the emails of encouragement. It means a lot, and it gets me right back to work when life distracts me, which is so real, right? They also really help with my self-esteem. Whenever I think I can't do it, I see an email that basically says, hell yes, you can. Keep going. I will definitely share my exciting wins and updates on my progress. Wishing you happiness. So, this was an email from someone who replied to my newsletter. You're welcome to join that. Again, you can join some of the free course I have just to get on the list, and then not go through the course. That's totally fine. But it'll put you on the list, or you can shoot me an email, and I can put you on there. So how are we doing for time? We're way over, but hopefully this was, inspirational to you. And really, I want to share like what I'm going through, because this channel has been just an incredible space for me to talk to online teachers and to help online teachers to get into this incredible industry. But, maybe for some, it's time to get out of this industry, right? And that's okay too. Like I feel no shame in saying that I want to do other things. I feel, I feel no shame in saying that I'm losing some of the passion for my one-to-one lessons, because there's a season for everything. There's a season to be in this, and that's great. And I'm going to cheer you on if that's your season. Great. Like, so many of you are like crushing it with online teaching. I'm not crushing it. I don't really want to crush it. I want to move out of it and focus more on coaching online teachers who are really serious about the next steps. Like, you don't just want to talk about it anymore, right? You don't want to come to my live and say, I want to create this week after week after week. Like, you actually want to put, pencil to paper, to put boots on the ground, and to actually work hard to do this, because it is hard work, but it's super fulfilling, and it can really, launch you into great things. Hey, Matt. Matt is the dude. Check him out. He is the guy that I had on a few weeks ago. Thanks for being here, buddy. Just like you and I talked about a couple weeks ago on your podcast, our careers and our business are an evolution. I evolved into more of a linguist and coach than a tutor. Yeah, awesome. Matt's the guy that is charging, over, like, I don't know, remember what it was, 150, 170 bucks an hour to his clients. Amazing interview. Go check that out on my channel. One of maybe the last 2 or 3 lives that I've done. Maybe it was the last one. I haven't done a live in a few weeks. What else is going on here? Let's see. Sorry, is it? What is it? We are curious. Joanna, if you missed it, please rewatch the replay. But we talked about creating your own offer. So this is stepping into, this is not a get rich quick scheme. I'm not talking about pyramid business. I'm not talking about, anything other than you stepping into an online business that you are excited about, that you're proud of, and that you want to put out into the world to help and serve other people. I think that online teachers like you are just ready for that. You've learned so much in this journey of online teaching, and I want to give you the tools to do the next thing. Let's see here. Create an offer. Christina, hello. Funny story. No one has asked me that on my channel before, but Paul Gascoigne's a football player. He played for Man U, I think, right? For a number of years. We don't think that we're closely related, but the Gascoigne family with that name spelled that way is very, very simple. It's the same. So possibly like a third or fourth cousin. Yeah. But can't confirm it. But he actually came to Bangkok to do a book signing. And while I don't follow him, he kind of went wayward a little bit with his career. But I almost went there just to like introduce myself, because like there's not many people with my last name. Personal Crossroads, Cindy says, on Twitch. Is that, gosh, so many comments. You guys are blowing me up today. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey, Masa. Learning never ends. Your name is Masa. Good to have you here. Thanks for coming. Kelly Sam. This con is truly amazing. I can relate with it so well. Just recently, the feeling of the type of fear you are speaking of. Like you said to JP, someone needs to put you on a stage. I'm telling you, the stage was all JP's that night. He was fantastic, but I appreciate that. It's so funny. Like, I don't see that in me in that way. Maybe that's my own limiting beliefs, but I appreciate your encouragement. Thanks, Cindy. Yes, there you go. That's a good goal to have. He can help you, I'm sure. Thank you, Storybox. Thank you, James. Hey, Mr. Gascoigne. I haven't heard someone call me that since I was teaching. I used to go by Mr. G in the classroom. But yeah, Mr. Gascoigne, that's my teaching days in the classroom. I've just started teaching English a month ago. Your videos have been a great help for me so far, and I want to say thank you. Oh, I'm so glad that they have been helpful. Thank you to you too. Well, I'll hang out for like another minute or so. If you've got any questions, we've been going forever, but so many people here watching. I'm all pumped. I'll leave you with this. Do the damn thing, right? Whatever it is, do the damn thing. Let's do it. Like, we can do this together, and there's so much out there that's possible for you. I'm here to to give you guidance. I've got some really exciting things coming up. I'm traveling next Monday all the way back across the world to Bermuda. I'm currently in Thailand. That's where I live. But I'm flying through Japan. Then I'm going to New York for a few days. And I'm going to be in Bermuda. And then I'm going to be in Toronto for a few days. And then doing the big leg back towards the end of July. So I'll be gone for about 3 weeks. Yeah, I leave next Monday. So this is going to be a crazy week of getting ready for that. And yeah, planning out things that are coming next. So thanks everybody for watching. I mean, there's 38 of you here. What do you want to chat about? Thank you, Nicole. Or you've got nothing to do at whatever time of day it is for you. Are you guys about to teach? Yes. Love it. Let's see if I missed any comments here. Hello, Indonesia. Thank you, Nicole. Okay. I don't see any more comments. Love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Would you teach in Thailand? No. I thought about teaching Thai students online, but just didn't move in that direction. I could go back into the international schools in Thailand, but I'm not going to do that. Thank you so much. Please watch the replay if you're just joining and you're late. Cool. Interviewing for jobs in Asia. Awesome. Okay, well, we'll end here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. And take care. Email me if you've got any questions or if you want to bounce ideas off of. My inbox is open. My DMs are open. And I'm here for you. Take care. I'm out of here.